Hey, hey, IDS 302. Wow, frog in the throat this morning. Well, it's not morning. It's 12:55 p.m. on Sunday, July 25th, 5 months till Christmas for those of you who keep track of such things. Welcome to Module 5, which begins tomorrow on Monday, 5/26. And let's jump right in here. I don't know if I'm going to miss anything, but I don't have too much. I just want to review some things. Keep your cards and letters coming in terms of papers and assignments. Be sure to continue to stay connected and contact me if you really want to pass this course in terms of if you're struggling and haven't been able to get certain things and still really want to pass the course. I'm willing to work with people, okay? But you have to contact me, all right? So Module 5, there's no quiz, but I will be expecting a intense level of academic rigor, okay? Um, the learning materials, chapter 12, the value of interdisciplinary studies, it's about 5 pages. And then to look at chapters 13, 14, and 15, which are total approximately 28 pages. These are the last 3 chapters in the book. And basically, you talk about job hunting, interdisciplinary portfolios, resumes, graduation and graduate schools. So they're not for everyone, but there's some good information for you in there, especially I think in the job hunting and interdisciplinary portfolios and resumes. They may help you give you some ideas about how to relate certain things, right? But definitely the value of interdisciplinary studies is going to be important. Um, let's do, also you've got to read the following attachments. There's Benson's 5 arguments against IDS. Now, these are really good because Benson is a well-known academic in interdisciplinary studies, and what he's done here is he's played the devil's. Where's my camera, anyways? Am I looking at you guys now? He's played the devil's advocate, and he's identified 5 specific arguments about interdisciplinary studies and why people in academia would be against them. Okay, it's very important to understand the devil's advocate, playing devil's advocate on that, and finding out what some of these maybe knee-jerk or what have you arguments are against IDS. Conversely, read Newell's response to Benson. That's Thomas Newell, passed away last year. He was a driving force in the interdisciplinary studies community, and he wrote 14 pages. Benson's is about 7. Newell's is about 14 pages of his response to Benson. So this is where you're going to find these tools to sell this your academics, right? I mean, there's something special here that you can mine and express, whether it's a elevator pitch of a minute or, there we go. Oh, got to be psychological. I'm boring myself. Okay, so read those because you're going to need those for later for your discussion board. Easter egg number 1 is be prepared to defend IDS. Okay, you're an interdisciplinarian. It doesn't make a lot of sense to go through all this college and get a degree in it and then not be able to explain what it is. I mean, think of how weird that would be, right? You want to have an intelligent response to what it is, right? Okay, so give that a shot. Boy, my throat, I don't know, it was 95% humidity here this morning. I don't know why it sounds so weird. 73% now. Anyways, okay. So then you got a discussion, becoming an interdisciplinarian. The initial post is 300 words for up to 30 points and responds to 2 of your peers for an additional 5 points each, up to 75 words each. So the total on this discussion is 40 points. Okay, any questions on that? Let me know. Your survey. Oh, let's all take a nap first. It's embarrassing, but I think it is. When I go to meetings and listen to people talk, I'm doing this. Your survey link, please get working on that. Remember, there is no research without data. There just isn't. Your survey is probably the most important thing you're going to be doing in this class. So if you, like I said, if you neglect it, procrastinate on it, don't give it a good effort, you don't have data that's good, and therefore your research is not going to be good. And it will, in fact, reflect in the grade. Like I said, I'm not, interested in any over-promising. You're going to resolve climate change. You're going to, when your hair gets white, you start trimming it. Please don't wear a black shirt afterwards. Um, you don't. You need data. You can't just overpromise what you're going to do and then you don't fulfill anything near that because you don't get data. That's worthwhile. So don't think this survey is just kind of a little blip. It's huge. It's your data, and you need data to conduct research, to analyze something. You need to interpret data, analyze it, correlate it, contrast it. Okay. So I'd like you to get those survey links to me as soon as possible. I think it's due on the 28th. I don't know if I could just edit this stuff out. I really apologize. I just don't know why I'm like this. I think it's a sickness. Oh well. Um, so the survey is so important. Remember, it's quantitative. Remember all the things we talked about on that. Do not neglect it or give it a, half effort. Okay. Easter egg number 2: research requires data. Okay, that's real research, right? I can, even if I was researching RVs earlier. Research requires data. I needed the data. I needed to understand more about them, even though it's a very rudimentary, non-academic type of research. Um, so step 4 is coming. Now remember, step 3 is due today. I haven't seen any of them yet, but I'm sure they're good. Step 4 is challenging. I'll talk a lot more about it in the second video for the module. I don't want to drag anything out too long. Suffice to say, please look at the instructions closely. Please look at the sample closely. It is a much more deeper paper than especially step 3, which is really a formatted type of. Okay, how did that happen? All right then. So looking at module 5, I want you to email me the survey link because you need to get my approval to post it. If you've posted your survey without my approval, God, old man neck, I can't stand looking at myself. If you post without my approval, it's probably not going to end well. Also, because I want to remind you to hot link it. Don't just post the link and walk away. You've got to hit return or enter. You've got to hot link it so people just click it instead of copy and paste it. Okay? Yeah, I know. Look at this from my procedure. What they did to me here. Can't stand this. I don't know. I got to go see the doctor tomorrow. So step 4, it's got a lot of different subsections. Okay? Step 4 is critically analyze common disciplinary insights and patterns of connection. How do we do that? What does that look like? Okay. And it looks like it after a subsection of the analysis of disciplinary literature, I want you to look at the patterns of connections and common ground between your disciplines that you're using, and then the areas of conflict. Now, here's where having 3 disciplines is so important. Let's just think about this. If you had just 2 disciplines and you had to identify and discuss the patterns, connections, and common ground, well, what do you have to do? That versus that, that versus that, that versus that. And if you had to do the conflicts, then you got to do that versus that, that versus that. That's it. 3 disciplines though, and you got to do this one to this one, this one to this one, and this one to this one. You have 3 different ways you got to go. There's 3 different, so discipline 1 and 2, discipline 2 and 3, and discipline 1 and 3. All right. Same with the areas of conflict. Now, if you had 4 disciplines, This is too much in my opinion. Now you got to do 1 versus 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. You increase a lot of work. See the difference there? Exponentially. So that's why I settled on 3 disciplines. A little more rigorous than 2, and definitely not as side splitting as 3. So you look at those and look at the sample. I think it's pretty exciting. And it's pretty self-explanatory also. Keep your eyes on that Turnitin score, things like that. But I think you should be able to handle that quite well. Let's see, let's talk about session B. That's your session. Ends on August 10th. Does it end on August 10th? When are the grades due then? Let's see. Grades are due August 12th, so class ends August 10th at midnight. That's a Tuesday. So that is 2 weeks from this Tuesday, meaning that the way the schedule works out, you have module 5 from tomorrow until through August 1st. Then module 6 is August 2nd through August 10th. There's 9 days for module 6, but you'll need it because you got to write that final paper. Again, don't just think you can blow through this and get it done in an hour. This is, it's a 3-credit university course that should require you, like I said, up to 18 to 20 hours a week. Okay, so please keep that in mind as we move forward. I did talk about long quotes, didn't I? They're actually 40 words plus, not 30 words plus, but I think you should avoid all long quotes anyways. And be careful with that. Let's see. So there needs to be academic rigor demonstrated in step 4 and 5, especially in 4 and 5. Because I've taken you along here from the start, and we've kind of learned sit up straight, what academic rigor is and what this is all about, what peer-reviewed sources are, and think about what you're doing. Don't think about it in a myopic way where you're just focusing on the one paper. Focus on what you're doing. What's the big picture? Don't miss the forest for the trees. Remember, you are analyzing a topic that has some complexity to it, and you're doing so in an integrative fashion where it benefits to be looked at that way, right? I want this paper to be a big part of your academic career. I got hiccups. I got everything going on in here. It's terrible. So let's get out of here. Easter egg number 3, demonstrate academic rigor. Okay, demonstrate academic rigor. Any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know ASAP. Don't spin your wheels, and I'll try to answer you as soon as I can. I answered a student last night at 1 in the morning. Why I was awake as an old man, one can only guess. Okay, have a good one, folks. Peace.